What's going on, everybody? Project Rod here, and it is time for racing here in Anaheim for the final stop of the Stadium Series. Blue Thunder and Action Phil was your high jump winner, going back-to-back after being the fastest qualifier, giving them 24 points. In the overall event championship, Bakugan right behind him in second, Megalodon in third, and Northern Nightmare in fourth. This is the overall leaderboards where nothing has changed aside from the gaps in points, and that gap is somewhat still the same between Dragon and Monster Mutt Dalmatian. Bakugan in third, Megalodon in fourth, and Blue Thunder in fifth after taking that spot away from Northern Nightmare. This is the racing bracket after qualifying earlier in this event, and as you can see, Blue Thunder, Bakugan, Dragonoid, Monster Mutt Dalmatian, and Megalodon were the top four, getting the bye run into round two. So let's go ahead and get started with round one of racing here in Anaheim, and the first race right off the bat is going to be Angel Garcia in Earthshaker versus Cecily 96 and Alien Invasion. Let's see who's going to get the first win here in Anaheim. And as I mentioned, it's somewhat of a tricky track with a figure eight, then into a Chicago style type of lap. So we'll see what happens. But now a quick message from Daniel Murray.
Hello all Project Rod fans. Make sure to join the Discord in the description below.
And thank you again, Daniel the Fireball Murray. Again, I apologize for saying Murphy in the high jump competition. I didn't notice until after the fact, so huge apologies to you, my good sir. But it looks like Alien Invasion will be getting the first racing win of Anaheim. She'll be moving on to round two. Angel Garcia is out of the racing competition. A close call for both trucks. Soldier Fortune will be advancing to round two, given that his opponent would have been Gas Monkey, but he is disqualified and banned. So Soldier Fortune going to round two with a bye run. Here comes Northern Nightmare and Crush Station for the third race of round one. Let's see who's going to end up on top. Northern Nightmare, familiar with this track, given that he was the runner-up in Season 1 against Blue Thunder when MT World Media was behind the wheel, and this is where Blue Thunder and MT World Media got his first racing win of the season. So maybe Action Phil can follow suit and continue his pursuit of a perfect event. Here goes Crush Station, though. A mistake in the corner, that's going to cost him, as Northern Nightmare will be getting an easy win over Crush Station here in round one. Moving on to round two to face, I believe, Dalmatian, if I'm not mistaken. So Crush Station, some trouble there after the end of the race, but able to get back on all fours and continue the rest of the event. Hopefully everything goes good after inspection. Here comes Dragon versus Max D and Ethan Waters. Dragon being the current leader of the overall leaderboards with 180 something points. I mean, this guy is killing it this season. Flames Plays is on a roll after a not the best season last season, to say the least, but he's on fire now. It must have been that truck. He just needed to get a better identity in Dragon, but right now they're looking pretty even. Dragon came off of that jump a little awkwardly, and let's see, it's going to come down to this final turn, and I think Dragon got the win, if I'm not mistaken. We're going to have to go to the replay. Going to the super slow-mo. There it is. Dragon and Flames Plays moving on to round two by inches over Max D. So here you go. Here's the racing bracket after all that's said and done. Alien Invasion against Blue Thunder. Soldier Fortune against Bakugan. Dalmatian against Northern Nightmare. And Dragon versus Megalodon. Let's go ahead and get started with round two of racing here in Anaheim. First up, we're going to have our fastest qualifier, Blue Thunder versus Alien Invasion and Cecily 96. Action Phil has an opportunity here, as he's gotten fastest qualifier. He's gotten high jump. If he can get racing, he has two more competitions to go to have a perfect event, which we haven't seen at all ever happen. The closest we got was Gravedigger in Wichita. April Summers had an amazing run there. Unfortunately, she missed out on racing, but she got the other four competition wins. So who knows, maybe Blue Thunder can do it here. Action Phil, he can wake up here at the end of the season and definitely go for that. Right now they look somewhat even, although Blue Thunder has a slight lead, hitting the brakes right before the turn, but's going to be able to squeeze right by and get the win, avoiding a penalty. But here you go, both trucks rolling over here. Alien Invasion saving it into a wheelie. So crazy finish for both drivers, but they're able to continue as they're back on all fours, and they will be moving on to the rest of the competition. Here comes Bakugan Dragonoid, Daniel the Fireball Murphy versus Soldier Fortune and Brian the Dog Webb. The Fireball versus the Dog. Let's see who's going to be on top. Soldier Fortune hasn't had the best racing luck this season. Bakugan Dragonoid has one win in Arlington at the very start of the season and has kind of been, kind of average since then. So hopefully things can turn around here. But both of them kind of a Awkward jump off of the first lap. It looks like Soldier Fortune will be going to the turn first. And he's going to be able to slip by. I don't know. He might have gotten a penalty. They haven't made the call yet. We're going to look at a replay as Soldier Fortune gets a nice save. But we're going to take a look at the replay here. And yes, he was able to get both front tires in and on the line. So, Soldier Fortune is the winner. Moving on to the semifinal round. Now it's Monster Dalmatian and Omboji versus Northern Nightmare and Alex Stevens 27. This is a rematch of the championship race in San Diego where Omboji got his first racing win. He can go for race number 3 and match April Summers' record from season 1. So we'll see what happens if he can make it to the semifinal round and then the championship round. He can tie the record that was previously set by April Summers, at least for the Stadium Series. If you saw the Arena Series, you would see that Captain's Curse and Crazy Monster Jam fan set a new record in the Arena Series with a 12-0 racing record and a 5 racing competition win season and a photo finish for both competitors. Dalmatian coming out pretty hard and he's rolling pretty violently. A really bad wreck for Dalmatian and Omboji. Hopefully everything's okay as we take a look at a replay here shortly of what went on. We're going to see who the winner is. And again, just by inches and by a good amount, not too close, but Northern Nightmare is the winner. Moving on to the semifinal round, knocking out Omboji, so he is done. And here come the two overcast beasts in Megalodon and Dragon, both rocking that beautiful overcast paint job. And we'll see who ends up on top. Dragon got the racing win back in Detroit, and I'm sure he'd like to add another one, especially since he's in the lead. He can use those points. Megalodon, though, looks like he has a slight lead over Dragon. He has a lot of ground to cover, so we'll see what happens coming to the final turn here. Megalodon still has the lead. Going to the turn first, Dragon almost overturning it, and Megalodon with the win. Moving on to the semifinal round, Dragon with a nice save there. Megalodon showing off with a little bit of a moonwalk there in celebration. So that's going to be it. Here are your finalists or semifinalists. Blue Thunder is going to be racing Soldier Fortune, and Northern Nightmare are going to be racing Megalodon in the semifinal round. So let's see what's going to happen. So far, we've had some crazy races and some close finishes. So we'll see if the rest of these races follow suit. Here comes Soldier Fortune and Blue Thunder. They first started. They were the first race in Glendale last time around in the Stadium Series, and Blue Thunder came out on top. So let's see if history can repeat itself and if Action Phil can get another racing win over Brian the Dog Webb. And so far, Brian has the advantage right now in Soldier Fortune going to the turn first over Blue Thunder. He had some struggles in that first turn. This may be a race for Soldier Fortune. No, but Soldier Fortune had an awkward hop, giving Blue Thunder the lead. So Blue Thunder has an opportunity now. Soldier Fortune trying to make up some ground. Is it going to come to a photo finish? No, Blue Thunder has the advantage and taking the win, the come from behind win. It looked like it was Soldier Fortune all the way until that awkward jump. So Blue Thunder, our fastest qualifier, moving on to the championship race. His opportunity getting bigger to have the perfect event, but we're going to have to wait and see who his competitor is. Is it going to be Northern Nightmare or Megalodon? Megalodon some trouble early on. Clipping the jump, he will manage to save it in again. Clipping the jump again, slowing down. He's going to have a lot of ground to cover here. Northern Nightmare getting to the turn first. Megalodon too wide. It could be a race of Northern Nightmare and Blue Thunder where history repeats itself from season 1, but Northern Nightmare now going too wide. It's going to come to this final turn, both coming pretty even, but Megalodon, no doubt, is the winner. Moving on to the championship race for the second time. Northern Nightmare slamming the brakes and stopping before crashing into the wall there. So, an amazing semifinal round and amazing racing all the way around here today in Anaheim. And it's going to be Blue Thunder and Megalodon, your top two qualifiers here in Anaheim for the championship race. So let's see who's going to take the win. Don't forget to use code PROJECTROD for 10% off of your W Energy order. Be better with W Energy. And here comes your finalists of Anaheim. Megalodon versus Blue Thunder, your top two qualifiers of the event. Blue Thunder has an opportunity here to get that much closer to a perfect event, and Megalodon has a chance here to redeem himself from Glendale, where he lost the championship race to Monster Dalmatian. Be sure to hit that subscribe button for more Monster Jam content and for more amazing races like today's event. So far, they are dead even on the first lap here. And this is going to be a really close race. I can feel it, both with pretty good turns. This turn right here is going to make the difference. Megalodon with a tight turn, and both coming to the finish line at the same time. Another photo finish. Megalodon now some trouble. Blue Thunder as well. Megalodon crashing into the wall. He's on his side. Blue Thunder in action. Phil celebrating with some Cyclones, although the winner hasn't been announced yet. So is it some early celebration? Who knows? Here comes the replay. And who's it gonna be? Here we go. It's gonna be Megalodon and Brandon Thunder getting his first racing win of the season. Megalodon upsetting Blue Thunder, getting the racing win, unable to celebrate after this unfortunate crash. We're going to check him out for skills, make sure he's good to go. But your second fastest qualifier of Anaheim is your racing winner. Blue Thunder, the fastest qualifier, unfortunately the runner-up, so he will not have a perfect event, but he has a chance to tie what April Summers did back in Wichita. Here are the overall event championship leaderboards. Blue Thunder still on top with 35 points. Megalodon moving to that second place spot, and Northern Nightmare moving up to the third place spot as Bakugan goes down to fourth. Here is the overall event overall seasonal leaderboards. Dragon still on top, but that gap between him and Dalmatian are just that much bigger, or smaller, I don't recall, but a 14-point difference. Bakugan in third, Megalodon in fourth, Blue Thunder in fifth. Nothing has changed there. Maybe we'll see a change in skills, who knows, but the gaps are getting smaller. So, next event is going to be skills. Be sure to check it out to see who's going to be the skills winner. Also, a huge shout out to my patrons, April Summers, D-Toe, Julian Peacock. Thank you guys so much, and thank you to everybody watching, and we'll see you in skills.